Okay, then let's see now this section and elevation. So both are similar, so we will create a section or an elevation by picking 2 points, left and right, and then the software will create a vertical section cut or cutting plane, and we will pick on this cutting plane, on this vertical cutting plane, the points that we need, and the results will be created on the 2D view. So we are much more flexible to create the additional elements or to edit them, on extend, trim, or whatever we need. So we just launch the section function, and we see we can give a name, section A, and we will pick the left and right point. For example, we can cut the building in this direction, so this will be our left point, so we will look into this direction, and this will be the right point. So left point, right point, and now we need the insertion point where we will insert this into the 2D view, so we can insert it there. So we see already that we have 3 levels, the 0, 0 with the standard elevation for that level, the 0, 1 and 0, 2, section AA, and we see that the software has created here also the text also looking into this direction. And because we chose the automatic layers, all the elements that we create will be created here on the section cut if we are there. Depth 1, depth 2, depth 3, and then the points, the ref lines, and the levels. So now if we open a cutting plane, we see that a new cutting plane has been created, and at the moment we only see the ground floor because we are with this view filter. So we pick this view as active and choose my filter, so we will see everything there, and we check if the thickness is fine for our first elements. It's fine, so it's 0.1. So we can go to the area where we inserted our section, and then we can start drawing. So we will create the elements on the section itself, what we call cut, and also working with different depths. So if we increase the depth or we move the vertical plane to the background, so we will see doors or whatever we see in the second plane or third plane or whatever. The objects that we can draw are points, arcs, circles, rectangles, polylines, and lines. And in case of creating lines, we can extend them automatically, similar to what we do for beams and stairs. And we can either create free line by 2 points or horizontal lines, for example, if we are drawing a beam, or vertical lines if we are drawing a column, for example. So it's a bit easier to work with that. So let's start with the cut itself. So we are here in the cut itself, and we use the easiest one, which is the rectangle. So we see the cutting plane view with the section AA, and then we can start drawing. For example, rectangle, we pick the levels, so we annotate at the same time the top and the bottom, and we always do the same, left, top. You see that the points are being created on the left side, on the plan view, right and bottom. So we have the first element, and because we are working with cut, the line is being created on the proper layer with the proper thickness and the proper color. So the deeper we go, the lighter and the thinner is the line. We will see it later on. So we keep creating this room, for example. You can go a bit backwards with the zoom, and the same. So left point, top point, right point, and bottom, and so on. So for example, we have here another one, so we just pick this, 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 and this, and in this case the same, this, 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 and this, and I can deactivate here the point ID so it's a bit clear. And because we have here such polygonal cut, so we can use now the polyline, and we are still in the cut plane, so we can start here. So first point, second point, third point, and so on. This is the window itself, and we can continue this way, and then we can close exactly with the first point that we chose. At any time we can annotate as well, so top and bottom. So top, for example, and we click here somewhere, so we can choose the snap point near point, and we can annotate there, or if it's bottom, so we can choose this and annotate it better there, this way. And top, for example, we can annotate here, etc. So we are creating the elements. We can keep with the polyline, for example. We click polyline new, and then we can start drawing, for example, from outside this way. Up to here, for example, and we can say new, and now we can draw an arc, picking the last point, so we see it there, and from here we can continue with the polyline. We don't see what we can continue up to here and there, and new, and then arc again. Now we can draw the arc like this, so we see it there, and then we can continue with the polyline from here, and finish. So we have our section this way, so we could work now with the depth. So for example, either increasing here, so we can finally create this one as polyline. Again, you can zoom closer to the point cloud, but just to show you the results this way. Okay, now we would change the depth. So for example, I use 2 meters, so just to check if I'm seeing some elements in the background. So for example, this door, and we could change the depth. Let's pick this one, and then either a rectangle, which is much easier, and we say okay, we also want the levels, and we pick again left, top, right. So we see the element there, and if we want the frame as well, so we can even change the depth again, and then pick this point, the opening itself, clearing width and clearing height. So we have the elements there. We can see it a bit better if we change the background, so we see the different line thicknesses and colors, etc. So this way we would be creating the section cut and also for the elevation for the facades. So finally, if we want to make some details here, okay, we can see circles or polylines or lines. So let's see the line itself. So for example, if we have here such a line, and with this is for example a column, we can say we want to create a line, we want to extend it to which polyline. So I pick my boundary in the 2D view. This is my boundary, and I'm creating a vertical line. So just by picking one point here, you see that a line is created and extended to the boundary. And again, this is my column, so I create it this way. And for example, now we have some beam crossing somewhere. So for example here, so we say line extend but horizontal, and we pick this polyline, and then as soon as we pick here, you see that we are creating an horizontal line, and it's been extended up to the boundaries. And now we could say bottom or top, sorry, there, so we could annotate this level there. And finally, if we want to create some or add some symbols or some vertical symbols to give some feeling of 3D and dimensioning, so we can open this option symbol, and it's similar to the symbol for the floor plan. So we can define up to 16 quick buttons. So for example, P for person, P5 is button number 2, P7 is button number 2, and then C for cars, this is for button number 5, and T for trees, I pick this one for button number 9. So then I can insert, for example, here the tree. If it's too big, I can undo and pick here 0.6, for example, and pick the tree there, and also pick the car. I'm just inserting it there, and also some person playing in the backyard there, so we can insert the children here, and then also some person inside the building, so for example here, etc. So we can very quickly create these kind of sections. For elevation, it is similar. It's a similar procedure. So we change it back to black background, and for example, we want to create this elevation. So we can close here, and we open the elevation function, and we define similar. So elevation south, and we pick left and right, left and whatever, so we can pick wherever we want along this line, and then we insert our elevation, for example here. We click, we get these reference levels again, and now we check here that the software has created a vertical plane, and now we reduce first the thickness, so we only have the cut itself, and then we could create, for example, again rectangle, left, top, right and bottom. In case it's a rectangle, of course, now we will create the terrain itself, but just to show you. And for example, now we want to create these windows, so we quickly create these windows this way, and also this window here, and also the next one, and the door, and the next window. And for example, because this element is a post box, it's not an important element of the section, I'm using a different depth, so and I don't want to annotate the levels, so I just pick the points like this, and also here. So one door is missing, this one, so I create again under the cut rectangle, I want to create the levels, and I create left, top, right and bottom, etc. So now we can increase the depth so we can see the roof. So for example 3 meters, and we check if we are seeing everything there. If not, we can increase it a bit more. So for example 7 meters. So we are not seeing the top of the rooftop, so I just can say 10 meters, which is 5 meters backwards and 5 meters forward. So we can start a new polyline, and we start this way. Up to here, we finish the polyline, and we continue another polyline here. I can continue this way. And probably we could just extend the line up to here, etc. So we have here a kind of roof window, so we can use a different depth, for example, and create a rectangle. And if we have something else here, we can do the same for this window, etc. So if we have a chimney or something like that, the same. So you can see here how we can create the different elements, and also the polyline for the terrain or whatever. And after that, if we change to the white background, so we see the elements, we can add some hatches here and some vertical elements, and then we have the section and the elevation in a very quick way.